other people who are looking for jobs, because if they hadn't won, then there will be parliamentary candidates who had worked for the party and will legitimately be looking for positions from the party. But once they were able to take some positions from the MPP, that's good for us.
So winning your seat is employment in itself?
Yes, yes. Otherwise, if you have, candidates who tried but could not go to parliament, but they have contributed to the party and legitimately they will be looking for some placement. So once they got the placement in parliament, that is good enough. And it is not everybody who thinks that going to parliament is just a stepping stone to becoming a minister or somebody else.
But the problem is that because they are MPs, which is employment, they are also having a lot of responsibilities. People queue in front of their homes every day asking for, for them to take care of them, pay fees, go to funeral. And a lot of the time, MP salary cannot deal with all this. But you have been an MP for 2 terms. I'm sure you know.
3 terms.
3 terms. So you know that the MP salary, is not that much. At least at your time, I'm sure it was worse. And so can they survive on their MP salary, their small committee allowances?
I don't think that minister's salary is also able to take care of the demands. But you need to manage the expectation of people around you. And so, and to some extent, I think that it is a failure, some system failures that has created that problem. Because first of all, the system of getting people elected to parliament is becoming problematic. You've read about reports of monetization, over monetization of our politics and so on, to an extent that even some reports I have seen have indicated that the cost of going to parliament far exceeds the MP salary for the 4 years that he will be in parliament. So that in itself tells you that there's a problem. If there is that cost that needs to be paid or gap that needs to be filled, that will put into place some pressures for the MP to get some income from elsewhere. That is one of the system failures. Again, because we don't have this some social cushioning for people below the poverty line, they will always resort to demanding,
from their officials.
From their officials. And that is also another system challenge that we need to deal with. I'm looking for a situation where it will be possible in future to actually reconscientize the population that the work of an MP is not to find money and share to people who voted for him.
That would be a difficult conscientization to
because we have not been funding the NCC very well. And so that work has not been properly done. I know that they were more effective. There were other structures that were more effective at doing that conscientization during the later part of the revolution and the early part of the democratic rule. But for some time now, I'm not sure successive governments have prioritized that aspect. But it is very, very important as our democracy is growing.
It's good you mentioned the revolution. The revolution was supposed to stop a lot of things from happening, things that were bad. Now we have a situation where elections are mostly for people with deep pockets, especially at the parliamentary level. So you have to literally buy your way into parliament. Has a revolution failed? Because I'm not sure that's what the revolution that you were doing a cadre job for really intended for us to have 30, 50 years on.
It hasn't changed. Revolution means changing from one system to the other. But sustaining the new system is another challenge altogether. The revolution succeeded in, introducing certain changes, but the methods that were used in those days to sustain those changes cannot be, continued under a democratic dispensation. And so it is a challenge now for us to look for other means of, if you like, sustaining some of the gains of the revolution in the area of monetization of politics and corruption and all that. If you compare where we are now with the early stages of the development of democracy, either in UK or in US and so on, there are some semblances, but it didn't take another revolution to deal with the challenges. They passed effective legislation and made sure that those pieces of legislation were enforced. Okay. And they were able to get out of...
Can we pass a legislation that says don't buy votes? Would that even work? Because if you're a candidate and you decide that for you won't pay money, you lose.
No, you can introduce legislation that will punish people who buy votes.
Okay.
You understand? You can introduce that legislation and find a way of holding people to account for the cost of their elections and their expenses and so on. That is what is done elsewhere.
But what if the people say, oh, for you, this politician, they are a chisel man, you don't give, so we won't vote for you. That one, whether there's legislation or not, they won't vote for you, so what's the point? You are a good guy, but you cannot deliver.
What happens if the person who wins through paying is prosecuted and taken out of parliament?
They'll say you've taken food out of their mouth, and they'll hate you.
That is why it's not just about the passage of the legislation. The passage of the legislation will come together with the public education, directing people's minds to the fact that if votes are bought from you, it's like you have been enslaved.
Okay.
Now the elected official has no obligation to do what you want.
He has already paid you.
He has paid you.
But the difficulty...
And so we have to look at that. It's a challenge to our democracy. Yeah. But it's something, it's not going to be easy, but it's something that we must start and work at gradually. The Americans didn't overcome theirs within 24 hours. UK, they didn't overcome it within 24 hours. But they passed legislation and made sure that as they moved along, their democracy was refined, and they got to where they are. Even today, you can't say that they are perfect.
But the difficulty, if you want to create a legislation, the people who create the legislation themselves are beneficiaries of the system, the MPs. They are the ones who are... Would they really voluntarily decide to create a law that would lead to them suffering? Because that would not work. Unless you take some senior whip, maybe a whip from a higher side to whip them.
One, if you have strong political will from the leadership, and also you empower, organization decides everything. We have a vibrant civil society. So government that wants to work at this thing can collaborate very effectively with civil society, and pressure will be brought to bear on elected leadership, and then we can get somewhere. It will not be easy, but I think it is worth trying, because therein lies the sustenance of our democracy.
As we talk about the size of your victory in Parliament, and also we talk about the way to get into Parliament. You have 2 by-elections coming up. Tamale Central is your place, so you look very confident and comfortable that you win. But Akwatia, there are people who are saying, don't go, let the MPP do their thing, let them also, because you have one in Tamale Central, let them also do Akwatia. And then again, you already have plenty MPs anyway, so why are you looking for Akwatia? What's your response to people who say that?
You see, each of the 276 constituencies are constituencies of their own. And my response to the others will be that, why was it necessary for us to file candidates in all 276 constituencies during the elections if we didn't want to win? So we filed, and there were constituencies which may be more difficult to win. But we had candidates there. We had candidates in Bantuma. We had candidates in Manshia. We had candidates in all those difficult places. So that argument cannot hold water. If we actually file candidates in some of our most difficult constituencies during the main election, and you are now going to argue that Akwatia is an MPP seat, which it is not. Nobody can convince me that Akwatia is MPP seat. Akwatia is one of the swing seats, and it has been swinging since 1992. In fact, 1992, it was NDC. 96, it was NDC. 2000, it came to MPP. And then I think 2004, it was MPP. 2008 was where there were violent clashes leading to the destruction of the results of some polling stations, and we had to go in to complete it the way we did for Ablekuma North. Unfortunately, we didn't win. But the following year we won. We took it, and then the MPP took it back in the subsequent election, and then we went back for it. And then up to 2020, it was in our hands. Then 2024 election went into some controversies, and so we went to court to stop the MP, the guy declared, from being sworn in. And then Afenyo Makin decided that he should defy the court order and get himself sworn in. So that is it, unfortunate. And so we had been in court, so you actually trying to remove him.
So you stand a good chance, and that's why you are going for it.
Precisely.
The Afenyo Makin you just mentioned, he has said that very soon your MPs in Parliament, they will stop coming because they will be bored, they will be angry, there will be disaffection, and then you would have nobody in the chamber working for you apart from maybe the 60 people you have given ministerial position. Are you worried that you may get to that stage?
Oh, but going by that argument, he and his group have started working out already, so the side is empty. So if some of our people work out and you are left with 60 MPs, they still can do business.
But it will frustrate your work.
No, but you see, as a party, we are yet to do orientation for our MPs. So I can forgive them for some of their lapses. But after Parliament has done its own orientation, as a political party, we are also going to do our orientation. We're just going to do it when I think this Ablekuma North runoff came and all that, so we keep postponing it. So when we do the orientation, I think that things will improve because you have a lot of new MPs. Some of them, their first time of coming to Parliament, they are battling with campaign expenses and other challenges, so they need to be guided.
Can you speak to them and say to them that they'll be fine? Can you assure them, say to them that?
Sure. But the good thing is that the key leaders in our party are former MPs. So we've gone through those same experiences before. So when we talk to them, citing our own experiences, they understand.
Akwatia, many fear that what we saw in Ablekuma North, the violence, may be repeated in Akwatia. You are the government now, or you are the party in government now. You condemned violence in 2020 and all previous times.
Yes.
What promise and assurance can you give Ghanaians that Akwatia will be violence-free?
I don't think that Akwatia will turn out to be a violent election, because we have assured the police that if anybody is going to interfere in their way of doing things, it will not be NDC. So they should go ahead. They have been trained to protect the citizens, to maintain peace, and so on. We have not been trained in that profession, so we are leaving the field for them to do what they have been trained to do and hold themselves responsible for the consequences.
This is Face to Face on ChannelOne television. The 1992 Constitution has said there shall be no one-party state, but Ghanaians have almost effectively given the NDC a one-party state in Parliament, a very huge majority. But there is a concern that that majority may be wrongly used. So the NDC government stands accused of trying to remove the Chief Justice, and that the Electoral Commission chairperson is next in line, and so many other things. I'll talk to the national chairman about that when we come back. And also the galamsey fight, all the campaign that was made 7 to 8 months into the administration of President Mahama. How is that fight coming? Please stay with us.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth.
This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come.
Let's go!
It's on SuperSport all season long. Pay your subscription today. Dial *759#. Available on DSTV and GoTV.
This August, get ready for an unforgettable night of worship and celebration as Perez Music presents Glorified, dubbed His Love and Kindness. Ministering live, Perez Music, alongside the legendary Daughters of Glorious Jesus. Also ministering Joyful Way Incorporated, Minister Gabby Akwe and Edom Evangelist. Join us on Sunday, the 31st of August, 2025 at 4 p.m. sharp at the Victory Bible Church, Awoshi Dominion Sanctuary for an evening of powerful ministry and praise. It's absolutely free. But if you would like to support this ministry, you can do so by purchasing our special event merchandise or call 0557 116 607. That is 0557 116 607. Let's come together and raise a sound of gratitude for God's love and kindness. It's going to be nothing short of heaven on earth. This event is proudly sponsored by Eddie Spitzer and powered by Rima City of Worship. Media partner City FM in town.
In Ghana, West Africa, the mornings are somewhat, if not for the perfect companion. What a good day to start. Work is always effective with NASCO Home Appliances. Good vibes only while you wait. The feeling hits very deep. Energy pa ewa NASCO fie. NASCO, bring home happiness.
Yeah, welcome back. This is ChannelOne Television. Face to Face is a program. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. My guest is Asiedu Nketia, National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress. Your party stands accused of engaging in something you promised to do. Remove the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, but first remove the Chief Justice. Why are you doing that?
Oh, but how can you accuse us if you yourself says that it is our promise to do it, and we are carrying out our promises?
But it's not a good promise.
Why should we be accused?
But it's a good promise.
If it is not a good promise, why would people vote for us based on that promise?
Is the judiciary under attack? That is the criticism against.
No, judiciary is not under attack. There is a reform of state institutions. So if there's a problem with the judiciary has to be reformed to undertake its constitutional duties.
It is an independent body that should be left alone.
Independent of who?
Independent of the executive.
Of the citizens.
Of the executive.
But what is the executive doing about the removal of the Chief Justice? The executive has done nothing about the removal of Chief Justice. If anything at all, the executive is undertaking their responsibilities as far as upholding the Constitution is concerned. So the executive, to my mind, has not done anything by itself to try and remove Chief Justice. The Constitution provides for the right of citizens who feel that a state institution is not delivering according to its mandate or responsibility. They have the right to do something about it. And in the case of the judiciary, the Constitution provides the way to go about it, that citizens can petition. And once the citizens petition, another person who is elected and is bound to also obey the Constitution, who has sworn to uphold the Constitution, he is bound to take some follow-up actions. And that is what President Mahama has done. And the system is running, so let's see where it takes us.
But you as a party, do you support the removal of the Chief Justice? The MPP has said they don't, and they went on the streets to demonstrate. As a party, NDC, do you agree?
MPP is a different story altogether. When they are in power, they are the institutions they support. When they are out of power, they are the same institutions, they withdraw their support. When we said there was something wrong with the Electoral Commission that needs to be corrected, they disagreed with us vehemently, only to turn around later to agree with us that, yes, the Electoral Commission is problematic and it needs to be worked at. We have maintained our position all along. Well, we have not sat anywhere to take a decision that this is what NDC is going to do to the judiciary. But we said that we will reset state institutions which are not functioning according to the way they should function in a democracy. And there is evidence all over. In fact, some of it gathered by civil society people, that Ghanaians, the confidence of Ghanaians in our judicial system has waned so badly. Is that not the case? I'm sure you have read some of the reports.
I have seen some.
So if the same Ghanaians whose opinions were polled are now taking steps to correct what they perceive to be wrong, I don't think that this should be in some NDC agenda, MPP agenda, or any other person's agenda. But it is citizens who have petitioned, and President Mahama is not the one sitting in judgment of whatever is happening. He is obliged to refer the matter to a committee, and that committee, the Constitution has provided a way of setting up that committee. That has been done. All the challenges to the process have so far failed. So that is a vindication that President Mahama is doing his work he swore to do on 7th of January.
But you see, she knows how our judiciary works, and she has come out to say that what she is witnessing is not proper, and that all the processes are flawed.
The woman herself.
Yes.
You see, it doesn't lie in her mouth to say that. If that is how the judiciary has been functioning under your leadership, and nothing has been changed so far at the judiciary, so the same process you were heading and subjecting citizens of the country to, you have been asked to now shift positions for you to go and face the same process. What has changed since we came to power? What have we changed at the judiciary?
She said,
have we changed the processes, the procedures in the judiciary? We haven't changed anything.
She said even the place where she's been questioned brings memories. The building near the castle. She said that she didn't think that was proper. It haunts her. I mean, it worries her, traumatizes her. to go there every time, and she's not allowed to go with
I don't know
her
where
husband and all of those things.
I don't know where in our constitution a right is granted to an accused person to choose a court building. Not the court, the building where the court is sitting. I haven't seen that right in our constitution yet. So, but I'm not a lawyer. They are lawyers. And it is his colleagues who are sitting in judgment of her. So if all his colleagues were wrong,
Her colleagues.
her colleagues are wrong, who am I, a parent typer, to go
She actually
and
said
dictate
they
to
are
them?
wrong, and that's why she's going to court asking that they be removed.
So the whole judiciary, and so where did he send the matter to?
Court.
The same colleagues of hers.
But that's the only option available under our democratic dispensation. And she has also called a press conference and told her side of the story.
And that's the only option available for His Excellency the President. Because if they say constitute a committee made up of this number of judges and blah, 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 the President cannot go to England or UK to bring judges and make them members of the committee. So the same court the woman is resorting to, it is the same court President Mahama has resorted to. So what is the difference?
But if it was left to Asiedu Nketia, she must go, right?
I'm saying that I am not satisfied with the way the judiciary has been handling itself. I agree with the majority of Ghanaians who think that something must be done to the judiciary. And so if something is being done, we all wait to see. A change can be a change for the worse. It can also be a change for better. So let's see what is.
But that's something for you would include removing the Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokono.
That is the opinion of the people who petitioned.
And you agree with them?
But whether I agree or not, the process is unfolding. So let us see where it takes us to, whether it will lead to improvement of the judiciary or retrogression further of the judiciary.
What's the plan?
I don't know.
What's the plan with Jean Mensah as chairperson of Electoral Commission? You have consistently...
My plan?
No,
whose plan?
NDC plan or government plan. When you were in opposition, you have said that she had not treated you fairly, you never liked her. Now that you have the power where you can start processes to remove her, are you going to work on that? Or you are going to let her do her job?
We still have the power as citizens to petition for her removal. And I have been petitioned. Let's wait and see whether the rest of Ghanaians will petition or not petition.
You have complaints against her. Why not?
Yes, I have.
Why not petitioning for her removal?
Oh, when there is going to be a change, there are people who write about it, there are others who sing about it, and there are others who actually implement it. So we are the people who were singing about it. We are waiting for the implementers to come and work at the implementation.
But would she also...
So it doesn't mean that if you write about something, it means you are the one who should implement it. I am very clear in my mind that the commission is not fit for purpose, and I'm happy that our main opponents who have been defending the Electoral Commission to the hilt, they have now come to the same conclusions that some of us arrived at earlier on. So it's like now, luckily, we have a bipartisan consensus that the commission is not fit for purpose and that something must be done.
This is Face to Face on ChannelOne TV. My guest is National Chairman of the NDC. Galamsey. President Akufo-Addo said he was putting his presidency on the line to fight Galamsey. After 8 years, Galamsey has won. Yeah. You have promised that you're going to fight Galamsey. You haven't put the presidency or anything on the line, but you said you would fight it. 7 months in, we are not seeing much of a change. We are still seeing the same problems. Even though you're fighting in one way or the other, the Galamsey appears to be winning again.
It tells you how intractable the problem is. You know, when something starts, you can use force to quell it. But when it gains momentum up to a certain point, the same methods that you could have used to coil it in its nascent state are not the same methods that you can use to deal with it when it is blown up the way galamsey is blown up now. So I'm sure you are not suggesting that nothing is being done about it.
No, something is being
Work
done.
is being done about it, and we hope to be able to find solutions.
We can rely
But
on hope.
I don't subscribe to the declaration of state of emergency as some other people are suggesting. I don't subscribe to that at all, because in your frustration, you can call for certain measures that when we begin implementing, you can live to regret. I'm not sure many people who are calling for a state of emergency have actually lived under a state of emergency before. Because if your intention is to deal with galamsey and you declare state of emergency means you have suspended the constitution. People can shoot and kill at will. How you guarantee whether those who will be shooting and killing are the ones who are fighting against galamsey is another matter. So I am urging people to reason with us and bring up more suggestions for us to be able to tackle the menace. I have always maintained that it will be, I'm not sure I will support anybody who thinks that mining must be stopped in this country.
But when you were in opposition in 2024, there was a clarion call for a state of emergency. The organized labor said there should be a state of emergency. I don't think NDC officially issued a statement supporting, but I know elements within your party who were supporting the state of emergency because you believe that that was the best way out of the mess. Now you are holding the steer and you don't want to press the button? Is that not double standard?
You have answered the question. You say you are not aware of any statement, official statement from NDC supporting the declaration of state of emergency. But you are aware of elements within the party who supported that call. Are we to run the party or government according to the voices of some elements or according to our official positions? It's another matter we have to look at. Because a party is not a command institution where leadership will determine what each and every member of the party says. Okay, but there is always the official line of the party. We have elaborated the policies and measures that we will follow in trying to resolve this galamsey menace, and we are working at those measures.
But people understand
I
the place.
don't believe that if a party is campaigning and somebody, maybe be a party member or something, goes somewhere to say that I support the declaration of state of emergency, that binds the party to declare state of emergency. But I know we supported the repeal
Of the LI?
of the LI, which has not been done yet. And I'm one of the people who believe that it must be done.
So you would have it repealed?
I will support any effort to have it repealed.
But you see
But
that...
if I say I have it repealed, I will have it repealed. It's like I am going to repeal it. I'm not the one who
You
will
tell
repeal
your
it.
chief whip
But
to whip your MPs
that's why
in
I'm
line.
saying that I will support that effort, because it is a clear promise that we made, and we must.
But you see, the thing with the state of emergency, if you didn't support it, why didn't you publicly say, no, we agree with President Akufo-Addo, he's not declaring state of emergency, and we stand with him. But you left him, and it's part of the reasons he lost, and you benefited from that.
How did you know that? Because we did not support the declaration of state of emergency, or we supported state of emergency that led to Akufo-Addo losing. President Akufo-Addo has messed up this country big time.
Including
So
galamsey.
it's part of it. But it is not, his defeat is not attributable to just one statement that has been made or not been made. But I think that the galamsey issue is bigger than, anybody anticipated. Because you see, when in medicine, you have a medication that can protect you from contracting a disease. But once you contract the disease and the disease blows up, you can't take a prophylactic medication to cure the disease because the disease is already inside you. Okay, so when you look at this possibility of declaring state of emergency, so what do you do next? You announce state of emergency, and then
you cease all mining until further notice, until we see some sanity, until we regularize. So ban mining. It's not going to be a state of emergency for Ghana. It's for mining areas. Do not mine until we know our left from our right. Is that too much to ask?
Who is going to enforce it? You are going to empower soldiers that when they go to mining area, they can shoot and kill people who are engaged in mining. That is precisely what it amounts to.
People will be told not to go and mine.
But are they not, the task forces, are they not telling people not to go and mine? Even with the law. There are laws there now that prevents this mining. You understand? But the mining is taking place in spite of that. You need to understand why is it the case. Is it the case that there are no laws? Then you look for other laws. Is it the case that the laws are there but they are not being respected? Then the solution will be to find out why they are not being respected and then try to address it from that angle. But you say that, okay, even the laws that exist are not being respected. So let's remove the laws and the application of the Constitution completely. And then you send the same security people who have been trying to enforce the laws with minimal resources. You now send them to go and kill everybody who is in the mining area. What do you think will happen to this country?
So you don't agree with that?
You have to find a better ways of doing it. I have always been of the opinion that, look, extracting minerals is not a bad idea. It's a legitimate economic activity. But if you extract the minerals wrongly, it can bring in challenges that are more costly than the value you gain from the mineral extraction.
So stop the people doing the extraction.
Precisely, but preventing them is not the same way, the same thing as stopping them. Somebody has allowed them and they are deep in the thing wrongly. Okay. How do you get them out of the place and help them to do the things rightly? That is the challenge. Okay. But if you say that, okay, those who are in there wrongly, go and shoot and kill everybody there until you finish everybody who is doing that thing. I don't think that even the human rights institutions and other things across both within and outside the country will permit
What would you say to someone watching us who says...
We have the challenge that is developing now. It is beginning to look like cocaine in South America. Okay. You see, if you apply a certain force up to a certain level, it can harden the people to begin developing quasi-militias and declaring territories for themselves and being ready to confront the state and all that. So it is not a simple thing. Otherwise, Colombia and co dealing with cocaine,
they would have finished it.
They would have finished it a long time ago.
Chairman, what would you say to someone watching us who says Johnson Asiedu Nketia and his party are neck deep in galamsey. That's why they are not able to fight it. The same accusation that your members put against President Akufo-Addo. Your vice chairman, Mr. Abanga, and your national organizer, Joseph Yamin, are being investigated by the Attorney General over illegal mining issues. They have denied it anyway. But based on that, people would say, oh, NDC is now doing galamsey, so they cannot fight galamsey, which
so if anybody gets up and say that you are a murderer and no court, and so you are subject to investigation, then we conclude that you are a murderer. That is not how democratic systems work. When they were named, did you hear any NDC official statement claiming that they are not involved and so the state should not deal with them the way they should be dealt with? Did you hear any statement from us?
No.
No, because the law must work. They also have their rights, but there are laws that are against galamsey. And I am even proud that we are in government and we have had the courage to cite some officials who are suspected to be engaged in something and ask them to go and face the law. That's all that we can do. Let the law take its course. Of course, when they go there, if the evidence that has been gathered against them is not proper, they will come out and they will be vindicated. Okay. So that is how democratic systems work.
Very well. This is Face to Face on ChannelOne TV. I'm Umaru Sanda Amadu. My guest is Chairman of the NDC, Asiedu Nketia. When we come back, there are rumors that he wants to run for president because he has done assemblyman, he has done MP, he has done deputy minister. I don't think he has done minister before, but he has done general secretary, he has done national chairman. So flag bearer is a next. Is it true that he's lacing his boots? That's if he's even wearing boots. I'll ask him that question. And also, President Mahama has only one term. Is it true that the NDC is pushing for him to run for a second term? I'll ask him. Please stay.
In Ghana, West Africa, the mornings are somewhat, if not for the perfect companion. What a good day to start. Work is always effective with NASCO Home Appliances. Classic home appliance for the fisher folks. And Nijepa, I want NASCO feel. NASCO, bring home happiness.
Yeah, welcome back. This Face to Face on ChannelOne Television. My guest is the National Chairman of the NDC. Chairman, President Mahama has been elected. The next 4 years, what are Ghanaians going to see? What will be the benefit of re-electing John Dramani Mahama, who was rejected in 2016?
I'm sure Ghanaians have already begun seeing what they expect to see in several respects. For instance, the economy is improving. We are getting somewhere with our taming of our currency and all that. And so very soon the big push will start and all that. So we will deliver on our manifesto promises.
We are also seeing you releasing your party members who were standing trial. The opposition is angry. They say that you have come to free your people who are standing trial, and you are asking that if someone steals 100,000, the person should bring 60,000, keep 40,000.
No.
And that your corruption fight atones you.
No. We told them fighting corruption doesn't mean that leave corrupt people, arrest innocent people, and put trumped-up charges on them and prosecute them to go and demonstrate to the population that you are fighting corruption. From the word go, we told Ghanaians what was wrong about this, the way the banking crisis was handled. And we promised that when we come, we'll do something about it. You understand? And some of the cases that they were pushing, we made no secret about it, about the fact that we believe that they are engaged in just some persecution. So if we believed when we were in opposition that these were persecution, and we come and review the evidence and realize that our fears were genuine, what prevents us from leaving them?
Because they are your members. Releasing
it's
them,
not because they
allow
are.
them, let the court say they
were
should
they
go.
caught because they are our members? If yes, then they are released because they are our members.
No, they were caught because they were caught because they allegedly committed wrongs. So let
those are
the
the
courts
things.
decide that, and
Those
not
are
you, the government.
But it is the court that decided.
No, it's the Attorney General who is a member of government.
The Attorney General is the one who prosecutes the case with the court. So if the person says I don't have sufficient evidence to pursue the thing, why would you force the court? What business would the court then have?
At least put it before the court. Let the court determine that no, there's nothing. Let them go home. Because if you say that your brother...
But why was the nolli prosequi filed? Was it not the court?
Yes.
So they have put it before the court.
No, but a court cannot reject a nolli prosequi application by the Attorney
Because
General.
if you say, I am to prosecute somebody,
Yes.
and I see that previously the person who was in my position did not have any evidence, they were just using the court to just punish people, disrupt their lives and so on. I have come, I'm not interested in using the court, abusing the court system to step on the rights of innocent citizens. And I say that I don't find any evidence to be able to continue with this case. So that is what is the problem? The
problem is that now you are also being accused of rather catching opponents and bringing them to Ioko.
We love to be accused by MPP.
Why?
But it is not everybody who accuse us. Because we know what they that's why, you know...
Using Ioko to intimidate people, to to lock people, the police ID, party members of the MPP.
So if
that you are witch hunting
so
them.
if you are MPP, it means you can't commit any wrong, or that is a license to commit wrong without being prosecuted. Once you are arrested, it means that you are MPP, and so anything that is done against you means that you are being prosecuted because you are MPP. Why?
Your mandate is a big one. You have said you're going to reset this country.
Yes,
you're going to transform
that is
this
what
country.
we are doing.
You have 4 years to do that. Mm-hmm. It's a big transformation. The unemployment situation is huge.
Yes.
Are you sure you can fix all our problems?
Oh, we cannot. We are not claiming to be able to fix all problems because societies don't have a destination where when they arrive at, they say, hallelujah, we have fixed all the problems. Because the fixing of one problem also leads to the emergence of another problem. So the good thing is for you to be able to deal with the problems as they emerge. Even if the problems we have identified now, we are able to fix all of them. The answers we provide for those problems will themselves generate other problems which successors will come and continue solving. That is how societies grow.
But you have a lot of vindication to do for President Mahama, who was rejected while he was in government and been returned to office now. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of vindication. Are you working towards that vindication to say to Ghanaians, it is not wrong that you brought the old man back? Mm-hmm. Are you working on that? Can we see some positives at the end of his
You are
term?
talking as if some group of people brought Mahama back without the consent of Ghanaians. It is the Ghanaians who brought Mahama back.
And I'm speaking for the
So
Ghanaians.
who are we going to explain?
No, the Ghanaians are the ones I'm talking about.
Let them decide that, well, as Ghanaians, we were right bringing Mahama back, or we were wrong bringing Mahama back. So it is their decision that will vindicate their choice of bringing Mahama back. So it must not be seen that NDC executives are somewhere who now have the problem of going to explain to Ghanaians that we brought Mahama back and we were right or wrong in bringing Mahama back. This was a choice of Ghanaians.
Are you going to put Mahama back on the ballot in 2028? They say that that's what you are scheming to do.
Who says so?
A lot of people are saying that.
Okay, then go and ask that lot.
No, so that's what, because you are the chairman of the party. Can you say to us today that
we have
you are not
never run our party in ways that conflict with the national constitution? And we don't intend doing that. We will stick by the tenets of the constitution.
Is Johnson Asiedu Nketia running?
I'm sitting down and you're asking me whether I'm running.
Are you
You
running?
see me sitting
Are
down.
you running for the flag bearership of your party?
Let's get to the when we get to the
Oh, we are
bridge.
almost there. Oh.
We are not there yet. Has
Mama
the
is
party
not, President
declared
Mama is
it?
not running again.
The party has not declared anything. But you see, I have been monitoring this whole discussion about who is running and who is not running for presidency on the ticket of NDC. And I keep repeating my caution that we have to be very, very careful about the way we express our ambitions. Whoever succeeds President Mahama will ride on the achievements of the current government. So in your effort to succeed President Mahama, if you conduct yourself in ways that will disrupt the activities of this government, in ways that will make the government less successful, then you have a bigger problem even when you become a flag bearer. So that is why I have been cautioning that let us wait till the time. President Mahama is only about 8 months in office now. And you want to struggle to decide who will replace him. You know what it can cause?
What can it cause?
All the names we are hearing, including my own name, they are all occupying very sensitive positions in party and government. If all of us decide today that, well, people say I can be president, so let me start organizing, then everybody will be going across the country, appointing campaign coordinators here, there, and so on. How do you think that President Mahama can keep party and government together and focus to achieve anything? If you are a minister and you are overtaken by your desire to be a president,
You won't perform as minister.
yes, you perform. Everything you do will be to satisfy your ambition as a minister. And in our situation, it is worse because you hear about a chief of staff also being mentioned. So if it turns out to be true, the chief of staff is establishing his structures, making monies to prepare for election. His ministers working under him are doing the same thing.
Yeah, his chairman.
And his chairman too is doing the same thing. How would President Mahama be able to put these things together
President Mahama
for
will
us?
he'll be naked.
So if we are naked and we destroy the government less than a year into the President Mahama's regime, how is anybody who eventually succeeds going to have sufficient basis to tell Ghanaians that vote for us? And again, I find it too early because we must be careful not to insult the sensibilities of Ghanaians who voted for us. Ghanaians wanted some change. They wanted some resource. If before the achievement of those resources, we begin struggling who will become the next president, then what are we telling Ghanaians? We are telling Ghanaians that we are not interested in your welfare. We are interested in getting power. So this one has got his. I'm the next to get. So I don't care whether he succeeds or he doesn't succeed. So that is why I keep on advising party members that we have to be careful in order not to destroy the chances of this government succeeding.
Very well.
Because if the government succeeds very well, whoever we put there would have an advantage over MPP.
Okay.
But if the government doesn't succeed, an MPP will like any day to help us disrupt Mahama's programs. In fact,
So that they benefit.
so that they benefit.
Very well.
So we have to be careful
Okay.
not to begin appointing coordinators, not to begin looking at our various positions as a means of mobilizing resources or controlling power to be able to further our political ambitions, because it is very dangerous. Okay. If everybody conceives their positions as the way to mine resources to further their political ambition, we cannot handle the scandals that will come
very well
very soon.
Thank you so much, Chairman, for speaking to us on Face to Face.
Okay, thank you, my brother.
That's Chairman General Johnson Asiedu Nketia, Chairman of the National Democratic Congress. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. This has been Face to Face on ChannelOne TV. Thank you for watching us.